couple of tough games against some of the best in the West, the Blues return to Scottrade Center, looking to get back on track. The New York Islanders have struggled of late, but do possess some talented young players who can burn unsuspecting teams. It's East versus West, next on Fox Sports Midwest. It is the first of two regular season meetings between the Blues and New York Islanders. And we get right to tonight's Dobbs starting goaltenders. Jaroslav Halak is having a great year, in particular at home. Is 8-1-2 at Scottrade, and he's opposed by the rookie Anders Nilsson out of Sweden, who makes his third straight start. He was a third-round pick back in 2009. Brendan Morrow has been elevated to the Blues' third line with Berglund and Stewart. And we'll see a lot of that guy, John Tavares, who last year was third in Hart Trophy voting. Underway, Blues hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And for the Blues, it is Stewart, Berglund, and Morrow. And a little backhander by Brendan Morrow. And that's turned away by Nilsson. And now Berglund back to the goal for the Islanders. Matt Martin starts with Colin McDonald and Casey Cizikas. And a shot by Martin right on goal. So both goaltenders are into the game already.
And right off the hop, this energy line for the New York Islanders, their coaching staff told me earlier today that they feel like they can compete with any fourth line in the National Hockey League. And right away, Cizikas gets right in there after they just fire it in innocent-looking shots, but they go right to the blue paint, and they try to stir up the Bonnet's nest right off the hop here in this hockey game.
Islanders' last game was a couple of nights ago. A 3-2 loss to Pittsburgh in overtime. And here's how the trouble began.
Well, you look at big Matt Martin. He goes up and down the wing with Casey Cizikas, and then Colin McDonald as well, who's got some good speed.
Now in front. Pass intended for Vanek. That was just off the mark. And then Kyle Oposo. And he was upended there by Oshie. And they fight for it. Oshie gets it. On to center ice for Steen. And he rifles it in. Around the boards to Backes. Return feed. Steen again for Backes. And the captain, his shot blocked. And the Islanders come up with it. And here's Andrew McDonald. Now for Tavares. Tavares, the captain. Vanek a shot. And that's tipped high off the glass. And the Islanders. Well, Tavares was run down by Backes.
Yeah, he was
the Blues to center.
Tavares was actually going down, and that's why Backes went so hard and heavy over top.
Move by Oshie in front. A little toe drag and then tried to spin around and was knocked down. Then Oposo back the other way. He played with Eric Johnson at Minnesota. And that's elevated high into the zone. No one knows where it is. It comes down in a shot just wide by Schwartz. And now Shattenkirk gets it. And he saunters back to the goal. Shattenkirk to the front, now a drive. And that was off a stick. That was as weird a play as you're going to see, Derek.
Look how high that was lofted.
That was a high hoister.
Man, that was a 64-degree wedge. From in tight, Bernie.
Oh, beautiful. That's a hang time on a punt.
Yeah.
There's no way. That was a fair catch. That was a fair catch call.
And Schwartz had a beautiful chance when it came down. As Shattenkirk rings it in. And the Blues go off on a line change. This is Matt Carpenter. Signed as a free agent by the Islanders. Rolled in. Ian Cole plays it. And Cole back in the lineup after sitting in Los Angeles. Now into the zone. A shot by Payarvi and a pad save by Nilsson.
Boy, big juicy rebound, though. That popped right out in front of Nilsson. He had trouble with that first shot.
And the puck squirts to center ice. Here's Payarvi, who is back after a battle with the flu. Blues almost turn it over there, but now a good recovery by Ian Cole. Up the boards for Lapierre, who's on right wing tonight. Derek Roy centers this line, and then walked in by Payarvi. He waits, then a shot and a pad save by Nilsson. Rebound is loose there. Roy had it, lost it, and then fired ahead by Peter Regan, the former Ottawa Senator. And Payarvi all the way back in the Blues goal. Leaves it for Pietrangelo. And now walked along by Polak. Shots 3-1 Blues. Polak into the zone to Berglund, a drive. And that's tipped off a stick. Now Pietrangelo trying to race in. To an open side for Morrow. He is squeezed off by Colin McDonald. And now a loose puck back of the goal, picked up by Andrew McDonald, no relation. And Matt Martin to center ice. And hammers it high off the glass. Comes around to Morrow. And then Berglund is spun down by Matt Martin, who leads the NHL in the hits this year with 137. You got to keep your head up when Martin's on the ice, and now we get a whistle. And our first penalty has been called. I think it's on Berglund for hooking.
Karchner goes right over to Berglund and says something to Berglund as he gets into the penalty box. But again, that fourth line of the Islanders giving the Blues a little bit of fit. So a little tug there on the right elbow. And that stick is up in the wrong area there, and an easy call for the official on that hook. So the New York Islanders power play has not been so good since they made that trade with Matt Moulson going over to the Buffalo Sabres. They're only 8% since the trade.
And 16% for the year. Tavares a drive and a save by Halak. They are ranked 21st on the power play. Cleared by Steen all the way down. The Blues have killed 23 of the last 25 against. And they're up to 9th in the league. Just over 84%. Here is Andrew McDonald into the zone. Watched by Steen. Chips it in front. Broken up in the Blues. Have a break to center. Almost a 2-on-0. It's Steen. Cuts in to Pietrangelo and poked away on a penalty called as the Islanders were forced to take a penalty as the Blues very nearly had a 2-on-0 shorthanded break.
Yeah, and if not for Steen, maybe a little out of gas, he's trying to break away from the action.
New York, number 47, 2 minutes, hooking.
And Andrew McDonald had to do that. I mean, it's a 2-on-0. All Steen has to do is play that over to his right, which is Pietrangelo. And Tavares did a great job of getting back. Tavares actually cut the play out, and maybe McDonald didn't even have to have that kind of hook right there. That's a close play right afterwards there with Pietrangelo on the doorstep.
McDonald made the mistake. I think he felt he had to do something coming back there.
So 4-on-4 for 120. Off the face-off, Sobotka loses it, picked up by Jackman. Down the boards now for Sobotka. On the ice with Schwartz. Schwartz spins and tries to lose his man. That is Thomas Hickey. Now Shattenkirk with it. In front. Pinballs around off escape. And then Jackman in there. Gives Cizikas a rough ride. And it goes to the far side, grabbed by Hickey, but now he is smothered by Sobotka. And the Islanders finally get it back, and here comes Pierre-Marc Bouchard, the former Wild player. And Bouchard darts in on this 4-on-4 for Calvin DeHaan, a first-rounder in 09. Now DeHaan turns and guns it in front, no one there. Kept in by Hamonic. And then down low to Bouchard. He went to the line, but no one was there. And in 25 seconds, the Blues will have a power play. As it is Aaron Ness all the way deep in his own zone. Hamonic back for Ness. Up the middle, intended for Clutterbuck. And that goes the distance, and icing called against the Islanders.
That close call there. That pass by Ness was just off the mark, but it gives us a little bit of time. As you see, PRV sprinkling a little bit of that powder on the end of the stick, but you've got to come out of the gate strong. We are 6 minutes into it. No time and space for Tavares. I mean, everywhere on the ice. You cannot give him any time to dangle because he will make you pay a premium. He's that good.
And off the faceoff, Michael Grabner races ahead for New York. In a race, gets by Steen and shot off the goalpost. Oh, Grabner, who hasn't scored in 24, hit the goalpost.
That's the kind of luck he's having right there. What great speed by Grabner. Terrific speed. Pulling away, too, from a great skater like Steen.
Grabner, one of 2 Austrians on the Islander club, along with Vanek. And what a chance there. Now the Blues on the power play. Steen gets it. Out high for Oshie. Return feed to Steen, and a shot hit the shin pads of Hickey. And now the Islanders get it back, and then it is thrown all the way down by Clutterbuck. And the Blues have to retreat with 10 to go in the power play. The power play third in the league at 23.9%. The Islanders on the kill are dead last. 71%. Here comes Shattenkirk into the zone. Chips it off the boards, and now McDonald is back. So the Blues power play is history. Blues had no shots on that power play. And the Islanders, who had the great short-handed try, cleared away. Now Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. That pass intended for Berglund broken up. Here comes Okposo, and he is chased by Bouwmeester. Now Okposo in front of Vanek, a shot, and he hooked that one wide. And then Tavares down low. He is so strong and deceptively strong, and a penalty on Morrow as he got the stick in the skates of Tavares, and he'll go to the box. No score here in the first period.
Well, since he was suspended late in October, Grabner has not had a point. Our Plaza Tire Service replay shows the great positioning. He pulls away from Steen, but then he cut to the inside, and that way Steen couldn't get to him, and then Grabner put it off the pipe and out. There's a little trip right there. It looked like Tavares was cutting the stick blade on the ice for Morrow in the second power play, although the first one was very abbreviated there by the New York Islanders.
And the Islanders 0 for 1 with Morrow in the box. Tavares wins the faceoff back for McDonald.
Penalty number 10 for
and Andrew McDonald walks the line. Back is trying to get it away from him now to Oposo. Tavares stumbles but keeps it moving. Now Tavares drops it back for Oposo. Return feed for Tavares. Third in the league in scoring. Now Oposo fakes it. Across and a shot blocked. Oh, Pietrangelo, that hurt. And he is in some pain. Now Tavares again. Bouwmeester back in the goal, trying to break it up. Pietrangelo has to go off. And the Islanders send it back to McDonald. A shot. Looking for the tip from Tavares. Now Poso in front. Nielsen a drive. That was stopped. Maybe by Bouwmeester. I'm not sure. And then Andrew McDonald again out high. In front, off a leg. Back is there. And that was knocked down with a high stick by Nielsen. And we get a whistle.
That was a mistake by Andrew McDonald. He had more time, number 47 for the Islanders, to make a play over to his left, but he tried to force it. You see Pietrangelo coming down on the block. He actually takes it on the side or the top party. By the time he went down for the block, he ended up kind of on his stomach there. The timing of the block, the shot wasn't what he expected, but he goes right off and to the locker room.
Yeah,
you saw the blood in the back of the head.
Yeah, he got that right in the back of the helmet there, guys. So, thank goodness he's got a helmet, but you can, you're right, John, you could see the trickle of blood there on his neck.
And now the Islanders with a minute to go in the power play. They can't enter the zone. And it's handled by Josh Bailey, a first-round pick in 08.
Yeah, if that shot was fired when he anticipated it was, there wouldn't have been a problem. He probably would have taken it on the shin pads or maybe even the back of the leg. Because of the delay, he takes it up around the head area.
And that's the scary part, those delayed shots, too.
And then a shot to the wing by Clutterbuck, saved by Halak, and then a hit behind the goal. Clutterbuck goes down, but he gets up.
He lost his balance right into the board.
So it wasn't a hit.
No, he fired it. Great save by Halak with the glove, and then he just went head over tea kettle right into the boards.
Here comes DeHaan the other way now for Bouchard. Former first-rounder with the Wild. Picked up by Josh Bailey. Out high to Hamonic. Now for DeHaan. He works in a shot. Tipped wide by Clutterbuck. And 10 to go in the Morrow Minor. And iced by Shattenkirk. So some good killing by the Blues here, who have unshot the Islanders 4-2 thus far. And Morrow is back. No shots on that power play. Islanders get in there. A low drive by Ness. And a pad save by Halak.
And there's Matt Martin again, right on the doorstep. The D of the Blues, although there's no familiarity with the Islanders because the lack of playing against one another, you learn early on which lines, which players are going to go to the front of the net. There's Ness with a good play on net, and there on the left is Matt Martin, number 17. Here's the play earlier by Clutterbuck, and after his follow through, he goes to jump up. Goes to jump up for the puck that caromed off the glove of Yaroslav Halak and blew a tire.
And a long shot by Carpenter missed the goal. Roman Pollock down low against Cizikas. Puck back of the goal. Handled by Colin McDonald.
A lot of McDonald's, huh?
There are plenty. And Andy, of course, retired. And that's probably a good thing tonight.
Now, there's a Mick and a Mac here, guys. So a Mick and a Mac.
And now it's worked in by the Blues. Berglund back for Pollock. And he rings it around the boards, around for Stewart. And off his stick. And the Islanders take over. And Carpenter has it. Chased by Morrow. And then dumped off the board by Cizikas. Islanders make a change. Here's Pollock. Trying to catch him in a change. Down to Stewart. Good drop pass. Pass in front. Shattenkirk tried to get it down low. That's tipped away, but Shattenkirk held it in for a moment. Now it's cleared away. And again it's Shattenkirk, who grew up a Ranger fan. Not liking the Islanders too terribly much, as he told Bernie Federko on the pregame show. Now we get a whistle. And another hooking minor.
And two hooking minors to begin this game. A tripping foul by Brendan Morrow. And the players on the ice appear a little baffled right now, but
it's on Vanek.
26 New York, 2 minutes. Interference.
Oh, the interference call. I thought at first when he pointed, I thought he had the tugging of a hook here. We'll see right there. Oh, Vanek just was getting his position on the blue line, and he interfered. I don't even think he knew he interfered right there.
I think that's a break for the Blues because Vanek was already stopped. He had position, and actually Shattenkirk just backed into him. So that's a break there because it was the back referee that made that call, not the referee that here was really watching the play.
Blues second power play tonight. Shattenkirk, look out, that's blocked, and away is Grabner again. Another short-handed bid. This time he shoots it and missed by about 5 inches. Then Grabner's got some speed.
Well, you just put it to the opening, like a quarterback to a wide receiver. Hey, Jim Zorn to Largent. Throw it up somewhere. He'll get it.
Jim Hart to Mel Gray. Here comes TJ Oshie back for the Blues. Tip back to Shattenkirk. Head fake, and he tried to make a pass to Steen, and a little bit too fancy there. And the Islanders will kill some time, and here comes Clutterbuck. Into the zone with Cizikas. And then Clutterbuck waits too long. And it's broken up down low by Backes. To the line, that bounced on Hickey. And the puck down to center ice, recovered by the Blues and Steen. Steen leads the Blues with 5 power play goals along with Backes. As it is walked into the far side by Tarasenko. Now tip back of the goal, Nilsson, who hasn't had a lot of work of late in goal. And the Islanders break it up and fire it down the ice.
No, not at all. In fact, the best chance of this game have come while the Blues have been on the power play. And both coming off of Grabner's twig.
And now chipped in by Ian Cole. Turning is Andrew McDonald. And again, it goes down the ice. Now with 25 seconds left in the Blues power play. And so far, their entries into the zone have not been clean in the power play. See what they do here. This time, Sobotka gets it in. And now for Schwartz. Comes free to Sobotka, back for Bouwmeester. And across to Cole. Takes it off his skates. Now Bouwmeester around. Here's Sobotka with it. Out high again. Bouwmeester winds up. Shoots. He scores! Bouwmeester! A power play goal!
I'll give Schwartz some credit as well. Getting there right with the heels on the blue paint. Causing a distraction on the big goaltender, Nilsson. At 6'5", Nilsson's got to get down low and look around. Good shot there by Jay Bouwmeester. And with that traffic in front, I'm not sure if it hit anybody in the high slot or not. It looked to me like it was a little clean, although Tarasenko was right on the doorstep. Tarasenko here. Ooh, close one there. Regardless, Schwartz is on the doorstep. Tarasenko has got the screen up high, and a good shot there by Bouwmeester. And without Pietrangelo, because he took that puck to the head area, and he's off for repairs, Ian Cole got a chance to step up there, and he made a good firm pass to begin that power play.
So it looks like it's Bouwmeester's goal unless Tarasenko tipped it.
It's hard to believe that didn't hit anything, and it found its way into the back of the net with a big goaltender like that, going that like it had eyes.
And they give the goal to Bouwmeester, his second of the year. And the power play goal at 11:47. Now Vanek is in for New York. Rolled back of the goal. And Okposo gets away from Jackman. Okposo knocked down by Jackman. Blues have a 3-on-2 led by Oshie. Hands it on to Steen. Steen goes wide in front. Oshie on his knees. Turns and shoots it. And that was blocked in front by DeHaan. And the Islanders will ice it. And we get a whistle.
Good way to come back right after a goal scored at 5-on-5. The big line of David Backes gets out there, and they get a good opportunity because of the nifty hands there from TJ Oshie in front of the net. We'll keep an eye on the goal again. And you see the traffic. If we can stop it right here for a second, this traffic is going to develop right here and right here as we take a look at the movement. And Sobotka looks one way. Now he gets everybody going towards him, and now you've got the traffic in front of the net for that shot.
The goal, Bouwmeester from Sobotka and Cole at 11:47. And you saw the numbers when the Blues score first. 15-1-2 when they get the first goal. And now it's worked back of the goal by Stewart for Shattenkirk, a shot. And that hits the outside of the goal. And then a good reverse hit there by Brendan Morrow on DeHaan.
He caught DeHaan off guard right there, didn't he?
And that is dumped in by Okposo, picked up by Kevin Shattenkirk. Dobbs favoring the Blues, 5-3. Shattenkirk, a little backhand flip pass. That goes over the boards. And we get a stoppage. So Bouwmeester scores for the Blues to give them a 1-0 lead.
And we're back at the Scott Trade Center. Earlier this week, Doug Weight was inducted into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame alongside his good buddy Bill Guerin, another former Blue. Weight represented USA Hockey 9 times during his career, including 3 times at the Olympics, 2 of which when he was a member of the Blues. In 1991, he totaled 14 assists and 19 points for USA in the World Junior Championships, both still USA Hockey records. He led the tournament in scoring ahead of guys like Eric Lindros and Pavel Bure. And again, when you think about Doug Weight, you think about one of the best playmakers and people of his era, John.
No question, Andy, a classy guy. And Big Walt was on hand for the induction ceremony the other night. Now Pollock walks in, and that shot was blocked as Grabner went down. Now back of the goal, Payarvi trying to center it. Islanders with it, but a lot of commotion there. Bailey was upended. And in on the forecheck, now it's Payarvi. On with Roy and Lapierre. And here's Roy with the puck for the Blues. At the line, good hold in now to Lapierre. And he goes all the way across now for Cole. Knocks it out of midair. And then Payarvi again down low. Islanders break it up. And finally knocked to center ice by Grabner. And here is Nielsen, who missed on a penalty shot the other night. And he is upended by Pollock. That was a good hit by Pollock. And the Blues take over. Islanders have lost their last 2 games in overtime. Ovechkin scored for the Capitals in OT, and Crosby did it the other night.
Yeah, and got the game tire. It looked like the Islanders were going to skate away with the win until Crosby ties the game late and then wins it in overtime. But, I think for a guy like Doug Weight, and I had an opportunity to spend the last couple of playoffs with him with the NHL Network, and we worked alongside, and I really just enjoyed talking to Doug about a lot of things. He's just such an alert and astute student of the game, and you know, this is a guy too that didn't have it easy at many times in his life growing up in Michigan. He wasn't from the fancy, wealthy areas, that's for sure. He had to earn everything he got. I asked him one time, well, how tough was the area? He goes, you know, M&M 8 Mile? He said, we're a couple of miles even closer to the city. That's some testing times for Doug Weight throughout his childhood, but boy, did he want to be an NHL player.
And he said the speech came out well. As he rehearsed it, he said Guerin's speech lasted about 30 minutes.
Billy went on a little long.
Yes, I'm sure it was good, though.
What a great accomplishment for both of them.
Yes, absolutely. Now the Islanders to center. Tavares in for Vanek. Chased from behind by Tarasenko, and a good defensive job there by Vladi Tarasenko. Here's Sobotka now for Jackman with 5 minutes left in the first period.
What a great exit out of the zone that was. Now that's great communication, and there's a reason why that line has been, if not the best line, one of the best lines the last 7 games. Well, good news that Alex Pietrangelo has gone off. Maybe a couple of stitches. He had a little bit of blood trickling down from the back of his head as he went off blocking his shot. But one player that Pietrangelo and the boys in blue have got to pay attention to, that's number 40. These are 2 short-handed chances that Grabner has had. That one just missed to the far side on the glove side. So a man with a lot of speed. The 2 goals that he scored, that was the very first game of the year, October 1st at New Jersey. As I mentioned, after the suspension, I don't think Grabner's been the same player.
But looks pretty good tonight.
I can't believe that he hasn't scored a goal in 24 games. That's just, 3 years ago he had 34, and then he had 20. Last year he had 16 in the shortened season. That's a lot of speed and skill. I kind of mentioned it to Alex Steen here when he came by. I said, that kid's got some speed. He goes, yeah, he does. Wow.
Former first rounder of Vancouver back in 06 is Grabner. And good to see Pietrangelo back after taking that shot in the back of the head.
Well, a real encouraging sign is the way that Ian Cole has started this game. Good pinches on the left side, good reads, and a good pass that set up that power play goal.
And now at the line, Pollock stands up, and that puts the playoff side. Blues at home 11-1-2 and are 7-0-2 in their last 9 here at Scott Trade. Well, the Cardinals winter warm-up returns January 18th through the 20th. Current players and Hall of Famers will be there to sign autographs for fans, and Fox Sports Midwest will be there to bring you player interviews. Every dollar raised goes to Cardinal Care So get your tickets at cardinals.com/winter warmup or visit the team store. Always a big-time event in the chilly winters of St. Louis. As Backes goes in on the forecheck with Steen. Steen is pressured by Andrew McDonald. Now Backes trying to pry it free. I think it's in the skates of Steen. And then it comes up the boards. Clutterbuck there, but now it's Oshie over there to help out. And now McDonald lost his helmet. The puck taken by the Islanders. And they work to center ice, but behind the play we have a whistle, and we might get matching minors here.
Yeah, Steen gave Andrew McDonald a little bit of the bear hug around the neck, and the helmet was knocked off just prior to that.
Number 20, 47 for New York. Both got 2 minutes each for holding. On the clock, please.
And that's the reason why Steen was so frustrated, because he was wrapped around there by McDonald, 47. See the stick stuck on the inside. He's grabbing it with the left, and there's nowhere for Steen to go. So by the time this battle ends right here, you see that Steen's right about now getting a little bit frustrated. Knocks the lid off. Bucket's off right there. Grabs him again. But the original hold was on McDonald, and then whoa, good save right there off Pietrangelo. And then the next call on Steen.
Mention the Blues at home. 7-0-2 in their last 9. The Islanders on the road have now lost 7 in a row. 0-7 since their last road win in Ottawa back on November 1st. So they're really struggling away from home. The face-off is controlled by Nielsen. And a 2-on-1 with Grabner. Nielsen works in, and a good save by Halak, and it bounces off his chest, and it's in behind the goal as the Islanders at a 2-on-1. Now Hickey comes in. Thomas Hickey chased back of the goal. Out high now for DeHaan. Deflected to the corner, grabbed by Nielsen. Nielsen for Grabner. He goes for a skate out high. Still 4-on-4 here now. DeHaan lobs it back of the goal. And picked up by the Blues. Pietrangelo now for Schwartz. And a break to center. Handed on to Sobotka as the Blues are making a change here.
Good read there by Sobotka. The Blues the last couple of days were focused on good line changes too. Whether it's a good dump in or have possession of the puck. So that was a good play there by Sobotka.
As Oshie is run down by Vanek. Vanek's up front with Tavares here. Puck moved in by Ness. In front to Tavares. Oh, what a pass to Vanek, who would have had a wide open net, but it went by his blade.
Well, Yarrow has to respect the shot by Tavares, and the backdoor play was wide open.
Now Vanek again in front. Tavares, backhander, and a save by Halak on a tricky backhander by the Islander captain.
Halak's been sharp. He made that good glove save there on Clutterbuck. And that one right there, another good save to that Tavares. I mean, he's just has some nifty little paws right here. It looks like he's going to shoot. He goes back door. Backes is there. Vanek can't get it. And then the little backhander here off the cuff, off the shoulder, maybe off the mask. And thanks for coming. Right in this big stinky leather mitt right there.
That is the second chance that Vanek has had, really, with basically open nets if he gets a stick on it. And I can't believe that he's missed twice already, guys. Right in the middle of the crease area. Wow.
As Oposo wins the faceoff, back for Ness. And then down low again to Oposo. He is up front with Bouchard. Still 4-on-4 for another 30 seconds. And now the Blues get it back. And Max Lafayette. And he'll charge to center ice. Shots in the period, 6-5 for the Blues, who lead on a Bolmeister power play goal. Polak for Schwartz, who has scored points in 7 straight to Tarasenko. A shot, and Tarasenko's drive was blocked. And now Tarasenko and Derek Roy down low. Tarasenko in front, Schwartz gets it, and that was blocked at the defense. I think it hit Eric Ness up high.
Yeah, good play by Ness right there. Otherwise, that's a nice little one-timer right there. Boy, if Vladimir Tarasenko continues his fine play, hunting pucks and being relentless on it. And the one thing that he was working on from the beginning of the year was not giving up pucks and being one and done in the offensive zone. He's really improved in that area, and now this line continues to hum. At home, 7 goals. On the road, 2-5.
Coming off a 2-point effort in Los Angeles, his 4th multi-point game this year.
He and Shattenkirk had a little bit of magic together there in that 3rd period in Los Angeles.
And now on the face-off, Berglund against Cizikas. Cizikas wins it. and handled by Hamonic. Blues are back at full strength. Islanders flip it in. Martin goes after it against Pietrangelo. Now a shot hit the skates of Bouwmeester. Blues have it, and now they do clear it. And Stewart to center ice. And he gets in there. Turning is Hickey. 3 Blues in the area. Puck in front to Hahn with it, and he barely got it by Stewart, but not Bouwmeester. Here is Stewart. Turning away from Hickey. And then a pass down low to Berglund, but he is cut off. A good defensive job there by Cizikas. And Islanders throw it to the corner. And Colin McDonald in the... Stewart gets it back to the Blues to Berglund. Here's Berglund at the line. Blues do stay on side with a minute to go in the period. It's Hamonic up the boards to Grabner. Break wide feed to Nielsen. Nielsen in front to Bailey. Bailey a shot and a tricky one and a save by Halak. They may have been tipped on the way through.
Well, we can see the speed and transition of the New York Islanders, and if there's no backside pressure, the defense can't hold the line. So you certainly need a better 5-man checking unit with the speed that they have. This ends up being a pretty quality shot here. Goes off the right shin pad of Shattenkirk, and you can see how close the shooter is to the goaltender by the time he fires it.
And then it bounced.
Yeah, and then it bounced right off the shin pad down below, and good save by Halak. But it's all about gap closure. And it's easy as a forward, isn't it, Bernie? With there's no backside pressure to gain the line and back off the D. And that's what the Islanders seem to be doing.
Yeah, you know, and I think, again, not to make excuses, but, you know, it's that first trip, game back after a long road trip. And really, the Blues have not really got their wheels going by any means.
As Oshie gets the puck to center ice. 35 to go in the period. In on the forecheck is Oshie, but Andrew McDonald gets it back. And then grabbed by Nielsen, now on for Bailey. Islanders beginning a 5-game road trip, all out west. They go to L.A. after this one. Now it's Backes. Center ice for Steen. Chips it by Vanek. Now in the final 15 seconds. Ends up back with a goal. Oshie in a race. And he smacks the Islander player down. That was Hickey. No call here. Puck pops in front. Jackman turns and a shot. And that goes just wide at the buzzer.
Good effort by Jackman to get on it, knowing that the clock is winding down. And boy, that came close on Nielsen there.
And the only goal by Bouwmeester is second of the year. First in 10 games. And the power play goal has the Blues up 1-0 after 20 here at Scottrade. And we begin the second period at full strength. And the Blues again have not lost in regulation in their last 9 here at Scottrade. Set for the second. Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And the Blues control the opening faceoff. As Cole dumps it in. Lapierre gets it back with a goal. He is on with Berglund and Payarvi. So a different look to begin the second period. Now it goes to Berglund. And Hitchcock told us before the game, Darren, that he might swap Berglund and Derek Roy at some point.
Yep, and that's exactly what we've just seen right there so far in this game. And I think, you know, he said the only centerman that's going to stay with his line is Vladdy Sobotka. If it's needed in this game. So he's made that swap.
As now Backes dumps it back of the goal. Taken by DeHaan. Long stretch pass intended for Thomas Vanek. And it goes back to the goal. Pietrangelo. He guns it to center ice. Too hot to handle for Backes. And that goes all the way down. Icing called against the Blues.
Well, for Alexander Steen in this top line is sometimes just simplifying things and getting pucks in deep and not worried about the fancy plays through the neutral zone. Make this line so much more effective when they just grunt it out with the little meat and potatoes work. See if they can establish that here in the second period early on.
And off the face-off now, Pietrangelo chased by Tavares. And the pass up the wing, that was cut off. Halak goes the other way with it. Puck to the slot. Vanek turns, and oh, what a save there by Halak as he flashes out the right pad. And the Blues tip at the center. And the captain rifles it in off the boards. Backus tried to get there himself, is taken down by McDonald. And he goes sprawling into the end boards.
And a pretty simple play by Backus. Just dumped it in, used the live boards, and got his own rebound off the boards.
And a drop pass. Oh, Hammond took a shot. Oh, Halak got a piece, and it just about trickled in. And now Tavares in front. Off a skate, back on the line to Carpenter. That's tipped wide by Vanek. And held in by Ness. To the deep slot of Poso. And then Vanek turns in a corner. He meets up with Tarasenko, but now it's Nielsen for a Poso. Vanek near the goal. And a backhander goes wide. Puck comes around. Carpenter bumps into Schwartz. And now it's taken by Pietrangelo away from the forecheck. And the Blues finally get the puck to center ice, and then it's played back in their own zone by Tarasenko.
Worked hard to get it out. You don't want to get it back in.
Now Stewart trying to glove it down. He is onside now. Chris Stewart makes a play to Jackman, walks in, and a drive just missed, as Nielsen may have gotten his glove on it.
And Carter did a good job of sliding down there, taking away the low shot.
And now Stewart, nice pass across to Morrow. Here's Morrow for Sabotka. And he turns. Sabotka to the front. Through the slot, grabbed by Morrow. And that goes all the way around, now handled by Garrett Roy. And then to Morrow again. Now Stewart comes over and drops it back, but Grabner's in the right spot. And here come the Islanders, dumped in by Bailey wide. Stewart, the first man back for the Blues. And his pass to center ice for Morrow. And off the boards and in. Roy goes after it against Hickey. Now Morrow back of the goal a hit. And Roy gets the loose change back to Ian Cole. And then to Stewart. Centering pass, that was intended for Cole. Clutterbuck broke it up. And now the Islanders to center ice. Clutterbuck into the zone. And Bouchard a drive and a stick save by Halak.
Good position there by Halak. Nowhere else to go there for Bouchard. And he's not a guy that's got a howitzer over there, so good job by Halak to challenge that.
Well, Peter Regan, number 16 there for the Islanders, tripped up. Roy got a stick in the skates. Here's DeHaan with it. As Nielsen goes off for the extra man. Here's Tavares. That shot hit Halak up high, I think, on the mask. And now the Blues touch it.
That had to sting a little bit there, and Jaro Halak has taken his mask off immediately. It looked like he might have got cut up there in the mouth area. That's second time or third time that's happened so far this year. He took that right on the brunt of the face, and he is certainly cut in the mouth because of that shot from John Tavares. Right around the face-off dot on the left side of the ice to the right of Halak.
Now, Panga, that's the second time that he's been hit in the head, too. He's got one right in the mask.
12, 2 minutes, tripping.
In the first period as well. So, I mean, that's the second time that he's got one really with a lot of force, too.
Yeah, that was kind of blunt, wasn't it?
Yep.
Right there it is right there, and you can see the impact that your mask takes it right square on. A lot of times when it glances off the side, that's the angle of your mask, and that's the benefit of the mask, because it caroms off and you don't take it flush. But I can tell you firsthand, when you take those things flush, whether it's the forehead or right square like he just did, there's a ringing in your ears and a sudden pain and sensation that you're just not expecting because you're so focused on the puck. It's bouncing a little bit, or was it? Oh, that's clean. That's clean and flat and whistling, and the impact taking it on the mask has pushed it into his mouth. That's very odd. I got hit a lot. I never had a situation where I cut my mouth because of a slap shot. There's a chin strap inside, and if that's far enough away from the mask, it should be able to handle that shot, and this one doesn't. That's an odd one there.
Hanger, I don't think he saw that at all. From my angle, I don't believe that he saw it. I think that puck just kind of came, and when he moved his head in position, I don't even think he saw it at all, and that would maybe, with him not being able to flinch a little bit, maybe it pushed it back. I don't know, but I clearly don't believe that he saw that before he got hit in the head.
No, I totally agree with you. He was set in position, just taking away the percentages. But the interesting part of this is Ray Barilli takes a look at him is the Blues are in a penalty kill situation, and how stunned is he from that shot? So that's why we're seeing another mask come maybe from the bench. We're seeing a little handoff of another mask, and Brian Elliott quickly doing some stretching there. because you want to make sure your faculties are all right here. You're noggin, all the marbles can't be jarred loose there, because now all of a sudden you got a power play against you. But Jaro Halak looks like he will stay.
And obviously, Darren, you've got to contain the bleeding. That could be very distracting. And it looks like that has been taken care of, and he'll keep the same mask.
He'll be licking up the blood there for a little bit here. That's just the fact of the matter, huh, Bernie?
Yeah, and it looked like he was okay right off the bat. I mean, he was kind of spitting out the blood, but it didn't look like he was stunned at all. It was just he just got hit in a bad spot.
Islanders 0 for 2 in the power play. Blues win the faceoff, but Pietrangelo can't clear it. Now Landry McDonald in front of Poso. Tried to hit Vanek. That was broken up. David Backes there near the line, and now McDonald mishandles it, and it races on. It's Steen after it, but McDonald does a good job. And now a pass off of Poso's leg, and he goes back to get it.
Boy, the Islanders like that little play in tight, don't they? Get set up just to either one of the posts and then a little blind backhand pass. So a lot of that small area plays by the Islanders.
Islanders 1 for 22 in their power play in the last 8 games. Blues break it up. Oshie kicks it ahead. And now he knocks it by McDonald to center ice. And recovered by Nielsen, who hails from Denmark.
And I was talking to the guys this morning, the Islanders, and big factor is that Lubomir Wisnowski not playing. He really the first 8 games, then got hurt. And he really is the quarterback. I mean, they had 7 power play goals in the first 8 games, and since then they only had 8 since he's been out.
Yeah, he's got a concussion, Bernie. As you know now, Nielsen has it.
And that coincides with the trade they made, Molson for Vanek.
Now Tavares in for Nielsen in front. Islanders tic-tac-toe play, can't get it on goal. Now Poso again. Nielsen for McDonald. Back to Nielsen. Now McDonald winds up. He scores! With a blast, and it's 1-1.
That's a howitzer right there. What a setup there by Tavares. Tavares looks like he's cutting through that seam and then makes a little backhand pass, puts it, lays a nice slice of pizza there for easy serving, doesn't he? Watch 47. He knows it's coming back to him, and he's got this right in the wheelhouse, and he gets everything on it. Berglund is, if you're going to be there, I hate to say it, but if you're going to be there, you have to get a piece of it and block it. Otherwise, you got to squirt out of the way. And I know that's easier said than done, but there's no way that you can see that there.
You know, Panger, watching that replay, I don't think Vanek even saw it. It looked like he had his head down. I think Vanek very fortunate that he didn't get it. Wow.
So McDonald's 1st and 4, gets his 3rd of the year and ties the game at 1. And that was a power play goal at 5:19. Now the Islanders, Gahan with it, number 44. That's tipped to center ice. And then moved in by Matt Martin. And Martin goes wide, and a backhander. That's off the boards. Hickey on the line, trying to hold it, and he can't. And erase Tarasenko after it. But a good job by Thomas Hickey. And now Hickey to center ice. Cizikas comes in. Tipped away from him by Shattenkirk. And then Cizikas again on the wall. He's breaking up. Sabotka had it in his skates. Couldn't get it out. Shots this period 5-0 for the Islanders. And another penalty call. This one, it looks like, is on the Islanders. It is. It's a late penalty. Now Tarasenko to center ice for Schwartz. And across for Tarasenko. And it's touched by New York. And now the Blues will go on the power play. McDonald has tied the game here in the 2nd period.
Oh, you told us before the game that you wanted to tighten up defensively. I think there's a lot of scoring chances. How do you guys tighten up a little more?
Well, it's how we manage the puck, Bernie. When we manage it the right way, we funnel it, we do a good job. When we want to make the extra play and be cute, they've got a lot of speed, a lot of skill. They're ramming it right down our throats.
How important is this power play now?
I think it's the whole game, Bernie. We gotta get more people engaged in playing the right way.
Thanks, Hitch.
And now Martin goes off for tripping. The Blues on the power play. And they're 1 for 2 tonight.
Well, those are strong words there from Coach Hitchcock, saying this power play is the whole game. And he said before the game that the Blues need a kind of a grinding 2-1 win to get back to that part of the game. Well, that's what they're in right now. 1-1 midway through the hockey game.
Yeah, and they're going McDonald from Nielsen and Oposo at 5:19. Here comes Steen up the middle. Steen a bouncing puck. And it goes just wide of the goal as Nielsen came out and it bounced by him. And now Steen takes a stick up high. The referee didn't see it or let it go. Back is now to Shattenkirk. And a drive tipped on goal. Rebound to score! Derek Roy, it's 2-1.
Seventh goal of the year for Derek Roy and fourth on the power play. He's got some nifty hands in tight. And Derek Roy on a sharp angle. I really thought that Shattenkirk was going to fake the shot and bring it back to Alexander Steen, but he decides to fire it. The first one to redirection gives the goalie fits. The rebound squirts out here after Oshie comes in and jams it. Goalie can't find it, and Derek Roy clearly jumps on that one and fires it high under the bar. Right there. That's the stick blade there of Derek Roy, and there is absolutely no question.
His first in 5 games, 7th of the year. And the Blues get their second power play goal, and now they ice it. So it's 2-1 for the Blues. The goal at 7:02.
Fourth on the power play. So Derek Roy is really picking up his game, and he's shown to be very versatile. When Hitchcock needs him on the left wing, he's got the left wing. When he needs him to fill in whatever line, he fills it in. But make no mistake, when the game's big, he wants to be a part of it. He wants to be a big part of it. He's got good hands. Not the biggest of guy, but he's strong on the puck when he's on his game.
And he loves the power play. Darren, the Blues have used him in the middle of the ice a lot of times in the power play, but he told me the other day, in Buffalo he was used on the half wall, and in Dallas last year he was used on the wing at times. So he's been all over. He's such a smart, creative player.
Yeah, I like him in the middle of the ice in the power play in the high slot.
Here's a chance for the Islanders, and a shot wide of the goal by Hickey. And now DeHaan keeps it in. Puck comes around to Oposo. And then Ian Cole comes over. Oshie and Shattenkirk get the assist on that last goal. And the Blues are back on top. Pollock drives it in behind the goal, and he goes off on a change. As now the Islanders and DeHaan. Out at center, broken up. Tarasenko. And did not see Grabner from behind, and he breaks it up. Smacked around by Hickey. Bouwmeester tried to pinch in. Puck comes to center. Oposo now to Grabner. He delays. Now looks for the late man. Everybody's covered. Now a pass across the seam. And then worked in by Ness. Puck into the deep slot. Trickles back to Carpenter. He'll bang it off the boards to Oposo. Trying to spin away from his man now for Tavares. And worked over by Bouwmeester. But Tavares very strong on the puck. And now the Blues finally get the puck to center ice. Tipped in by Tarasenko.
Another smart play there by Sobotka, supporting the play and then going over to the weak side defenseman, and again an easy out.
And then Stewart tried a little toe drag move. That was broken up. And the puck at center ice, ribbed around by Shattenkirk. And that's lobbed high. Stewart a hit behind the play on Ness. Here come the Islanders. Nielsen. Now we have a fight as Carpenter goes after Stewart. Matt Carpenter and Stewart. Stewart gets him down.
Direct result of Stewart hitting this Aaron Ness on the far side, and Matt Carpenter, his partner, just came right over there, and no bones about it. That's the reason for that scrap right there.
Well, the Islanders are going to get the extra 2 here, so the Blues are going to go on the power play.
There's nothing wrong with the hit by Stewart, but you can see that happens a lot of times. You want to protect your partner. So on the right side, see there, that's just a good hit right there. And Carpenter sees it, whoop, goes right over there. And he wants to engage in the fight, and clearly he gets the instigator on that play, I would have to think. Matty Carpenter, the good Ottawa area boy.
Actually, they have a couple from the Ottawa area to the New York Islanders.
Matt Carpenter spent some time with the with the Ottawa Senators, and with Blues goaltender Brian Elliott. They were partners. Carkner scored a big overtime playoff goal at one point. And the same with Peter Regan, is also a former teammate of Brian Elliott.
So the Blues 2 for 3 on the power play. So Carkner will get a 2, 5, and a 10 for instigating.
That's a big decision there by Carkner in a game that's a 2-1 game, and there was nothing, you know, explosive about that hit. It was just a good hit. That was not a good decision there by Carkner.
Yeah, it really wasn't that hard a hit, quite honestly.
And the decision to continue to go after him after you see that Stewart clearly did not want to fight. I mean, if he could have taken 2, I mean, it's a little better than 2, 5, and 10. Wow.
Now the Blues working into the zone. Here is Roy back for Shattenkirk. Across to Steen, a shot. And that was blocked. Now comes back to Steen again. And he settles it. As Backes open. Backes gets a chance. He scores! What a shot by Backes!
Back-to-back power play goals. A good setup from the point. Good patience shown right there, and with the screen in front, that's a wicked wrister by the captain, David Backes. That's a salty little wrister high under the bar and in. Shattenkirk makes the good play to begin it, and then Steen looks one way, drags a first forward up towards him, Cizikas, and then this shot here has got eyes with Oshie in front. The goaltender goes down, waves at it, not quick enough to get up there, as that beats him cleanly under the bar.
Yeah, the goaltender was nowhere near that puck there. He really was stayed in the center of the ice, and what a rocket inside the post, though.
Blues had 3 power play goals a few weeks ago against Colorado here at home, and they get their 3rd tonight on Backes' 13th of the year.
And 6th on the power play.
And that leads the club. So it's 3-1. And once again, the Blues get some goals in offense after Hitch's speech to Bernie Federko. It's happened a lot this year.
I wish they had a 3-goal lead before I got to talk to him. It would be a lot more fun, wouldn't it?
It would.
He said it was all about the power play. Boy, he's certainly right.
Now the puck in front. By the way, that last goal back is from Steen and Shattenkirk at 9:33. And the Blues power play on fire tonight.
Time now for a high-speed shot. Brought to you by Charter. And the captain, David Backes. See the way Steen looks one way? Gives a little bit of time, just a little bit more space for Backes. And with traffic in front by Oshie doesn't get an assist on the play. But much like what happened earlier in the year between Backes and Stewart, that net front presence, you don't get an assist, but everybody knows that you're a valuable part of that goal going in the net.
And you saw the numbers at home on the power play.
Oh.
They are trending in the right way. And all 4 goals tonight on the power play. Here comes Josh Bailey to center ice.
Well, it's been an odd game considering the least amount of penalties called in the LA game. Only 5 total in that kind of game. And then this one here has a different feel, a different vibe to the game. A lot of interference calls, stuff like that. So it's been a specialty team game for sure.
You know, it's such a difference playing against East and West. I think, you're not familiar with the other players on the other team, and it's really, you don't seem to get a flow going. And, I mean, it's been a strange game. I mean, the Islanders have had way more scoring chances, and it's the power play that has been doing the damage for the Blues.
And the referees, Steve Kazari and Dean Morton, have called things in a rather tight fashion tonight, unlike what we saw the other night in Los Angeles. Now it's Pietrangelo for Oshie. On to the captain Backes, who scored moments ago. Back to Steen, a drive, and a blocker save by Nielsen. Islanders get the puck back to center ice. And the captain Tavares. Third and Regan scoring. Broken up by Oshie. And Oshie down the boards. And a good job there by DeHaan to get the hit into Oshie and impeded progress. And then Oshie twists one back of the goal. Here's Steen again. Steen to the front. Tipped by Lapierre. Held under by the Blues. Now Lapierre off the boards. Good job by Backes in the corner. Taken out by Hamonic. And the Islanders break it up, and they send it down the near side.
And that's the way to lead by example there with TJ Oshie up against Tavares. I mean, he just hounded him. He was relentless, and he finally stripped Tavares of the puck.
Now it's Lapierre, Roy, and Morrow here for the Blues, and we get a whistle. And I think this puck was knocked down with a high stick.
Well, when you've got a great player like Tavares, you've got to stay with them. And this was the end result, stripping of the puck. But it really started with the backside pressure on Tavares. And Tavares thought he had more time and space. But there was Oshie taking it away from him. And he's a crafty, gritty player, that TJ Oshie.
Blues win the draw back for Cole. A shot off the basket. The goaltender Nielsen. Puck in front, and Lapierre had it but couldn't get it back on goal. And the Islanders dump one to the corner. Clutterbuck, shouldered by Cole. And now grabbed by Roy, and he filters it down the middle, and no icing here. As they ruled, the Islanders could have played that. Now Hickey to center ice for Clutterbuck. He moves in. A shot blocked. Comes around and picked up by Payarvi. Off the boards to Berglund. And he wanders in. Berglund a shot. And that's blocked at defense by Hickey. Now Berglund for Oshie. Trying to muscle his way in front. Forced to the outside by Ness. And now Berglund helps out. And he tries to move off the boards. He does. A shot. And a save by Nielsen. Deep slot. Berglund again. And he lost his footing. He just can't buy a goal.
Oh, that's a tough break right there for Berglund. He just goes on his toes a little too much. Look at Brian Elliott in the background. Brian Elliott is laughing. And now he gives him a pat. Oh, I'm not sure if that's going to be imitated tomorrow in practice or not. He's got it. Okay, good position. Oh, man.
You got to get Bert to grind that little pick off the front of the skates, the figure skates.
I just love Elliott's response on the bench. And that came after a great play. He was too much, too big, too strong for Hickey in the corner. And he came out in front with a powerful move. And then that one came there. Oh, boy.
He looked like your twin Scott Hamilton on that one.
That was a triple Sal count.
Yes, it was. 6:20 left here in the second period. Well, when you're up 3-1, you can laugh. Now Colin McDonald, number 13. Checked by Jaden Schwartz. Blues can't clear it. Grabner gets it. Grabner to the front, but it never got past Pietrangelo, and the Blues have numbers the other way. Schwartz has it roll on him. Picked up by Sobotka. To Schwartz. And he delays. Now a shot. And that's handled by the 23-year-old Anders Nilsson. Blues lead 3-1 here in the second period.
And we're back here at the Scott Trade Center. Well, goal scoring has been a struggle for Patrick Berglund. He has just one goal on the season. But he tells me he's as confident as ever. And he's trying to find other ways to impact hockey games. Now, Ken Hitchcock raves about his work ethic. Tells me this is as physical as he's ever seen Patrick Berglund play. Now, talking to Berglund yesterday, he told me, listen, I may not score 30 goals this season, but I'm going to have a chance to score a lot of goals, a lot of meaningful goals for this hockey team. And Panger, you got to figure, at some point the pucks are going to start going in for Patrick Berglund.
I would think so. Doing the little things are the most important parts of it being a centerman. You got to cover so much more ice. You got to be strong on the puck. But biggest thing for me is how Berglund plays in big games against big teams. That's the biggest part of his game.
And maybe he'll come up really big in May and June, guys. Yeah. That's when it really counts.
And of course, last year had 17 goals. Second is Stewart's 18. Here is Steen dropping it back for Cole. 5:25 left in the second period.
We may have to give him a chin strap and a cage, though.
Here comes Steen in on goal. A shot short side. And a save there by Nielsen. And we get a whistle.
Because I still can't get over watching the response of Brian Elliott after Berglund went down.
Well, of course, the Blues take on the Ducks for the first time this year on Saturday. Great seats are still available as low as $35. Visit stlouisblues.com and get your tickets today. The Ducks and Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry, are they having a good year?
Are they ever? That Ryan Getzlaf, he plays big in big games, doesn't he?
Now Bouwmeester for Payarvi. Up front here with Berglund and Lapierre. In front, great pass. PRB, he scores! What a play by Berglund, and PRB buries it. It's 4-1.
The Swedish connection. And Berglund does a nice little spin around, and this is where Berglund protects the puck. And it's hard to defend. It's hard to get on the inside when he uses his body like that. And so Berglund redeems himself from that Ice Capades episode and puts it right on the tape of Magnum PI. Magnus PRB just fires this one home. It looked like it might have gone off the post and in. Good play there by the Lapierre off the face-off. PRB takes a hit to make a play, and then this one's right on the doorstep. He just jams it hard on the stick side.
You know, Hickey lost his stick on the hit in the corner by Lapierre, and that's why PRB was all by himself in front of the net.
And now we get pushing as they go after PRB and Berglund. PRB gets his second goal of the year. He scored in Buffalo a few weeks ago. Berglund and Bouwmeester get the assists.
Well, when he spins here, he's got his head down. No one covering him whatsoever. Plenty of time. Bad defensive coverage there, certainly by the New York Islanders. As you mentioned, Hickey went back to retrieve the twig. In the meantime, Magnus PRB is wide open.
Yeah, that's a lesson right there. I mean, as a defenseman there, you got to forget about your stick in that situation. Got to go to the front of the net.
So PRB makes it 4-1 at 14:59. As the Blues have scored the last 3 here in the second period. Now the Islanders come in. Tavares a shot. Good save there by Halak. As he got his glove up on a tough shot by Tavares. Now Pietrangelo races back for the Blues. In the slot, Bouwmeester! And that shot was just off the pad of Nielsen. Bouwmeester already with a goal and 1 assist tonight. And now over 20 points on the year. Here's Oshie, wide open Steen. Right in a shot. Off the glass in front. And now picked up by Jackman. As the Blues are coming in waves now. Jackman to the corner. And Backus with a hit in there on Ness, but the puck trickles to center ice.
Second period proving to be the Blues' best. Plus 14 goals, 4 goals against coming into this one, and they've dominated this second frame here.
Now Stewart for Steen. Thrown back of the goal. Stewart in a race and a hit on Ness.
And Ness has taken a licking here in this second period.
And now Hamonic up the middle. Intended for Bouchard. A lockout to play it. And now it's Jackman. It's off the stick going back to the corner. Islanders get it. Long shot blockered away by Halak. That was off the stick of Hickey. And then Bouchard for Regan. Out high to Andrew McDonald. Slap pass to the front. That was intended for Hickey. And the shot blocked, and now Derek Roy the other way. Roy with his 7th of the year tonight for the Blues. And now to Morrow. Into the slot, no one home for the Blues. We have seen a bunch of different line combinations here in the second period, my friend.
Yeah, we have. You got to be alert. You got to be sharp on the bench. And a lot of times when that happens, it's meant to get everybody sharper on the bench.
And now big Roman Polak to center ice. He'll throw one back of the goal. Taken by Calvin DeHaan. And off the far boards to Martin at center ice. With 2:40 left in the second period. Shots are now 11-8 for the Blues in this period. And 17-14 for the game.
And one player, Matt Martin, he continues, though, to go through bodies and plays a good physical, straight-ahead game. And he just, as soon as Ian Cole released the puck, man, Matt Martin was right there, giving him a good hit.
He's led the league in hits the last 2 years.
You can see how.
Cole. Yeah. Cole reverses now, picked up by Schwartz, and a penalty coming up. And it's going to go against the aforementioned Martin for a hit in the corner on Cole.
Another power play, and the Blues 2 for 2, breaking this game wide open with the power play here in the second period. Steve Kozari with the call. Although the old microphone trick wasn't in. Here's the previous goal. Our Mazda drive to the net, and why wouldn't it be this one here? Take a hit to make a play. Hickey loses the stick on the left, and look at Magnus PRB. 1001, 1002, and he fires it past the stick side before DeHaan can get to him. Good play there by Berglund, right on the tape.
As the other defenseman, Hickey, was caught in the far corner.
With the stick, yeah, he got his stick knocked out when he hit Payarvi to begin the play.
Well, we get matching liners here. So it is not a power play for the Blues. Sobotka and Martin going off. As the Blues get the puck to center ice. So an interference to Sobotka, cross-checking to Martin.
And away from one another. Not on the same play.
They weren't involved with each other. As it comes back to Hamonic. Wrist shot wide. Comes off the inboard. Now Grabner grabs it. And doesn't shoot it. Now he does in front. Nielsen can't get it. And it's Payarvi back to center ice. One-hand pass to Shattenkirk. Defense backs in a bit. And a drive by Shattenkirk on goal. And a save by Nielsen. And the Islanders to center ice. Again, Nabokov is the Islanders' #1 goaltender, but the sideline with a groin injury, but he is on the trip and was skating this morning. Broken up at center ice by Steen. In the final minute now. Steen to the backhand. Can't get it on goal. Picked up by Backes. Now Backes trying to get some good ice here. Back for Bouwmeester. And he walks in, and a pad save by Nielsen. And then Backes hunts it down, but it's off his stick. At center ice, Vanek can't get anywhere. And now it's Vanek once again. And he is steered off the puck. Boy, Backes has played a monster second period here.
He doesn't like the University of Minnesota guys. That's just a fact. Look at him. Going against their former star, Vanek. He's hounding him. It's all over him.
It's Tavares back the other way. In front of the Blues goal, and Pietrangelo knocked down but gets up to break it up. And now Derek Roy kicks it on the wall for Steen. In the final 10 seconds, now Pietrangelo. His pass to Steen. Moves in, and a glove save, and a good one there by Nielsen.
He's nice and aggressive there on that play, challenging that, just got a piece of it. Good smart play by Pietrangelo late, though. Knowing you've got an odd man rush, he puts it on the tape to Steen. And good goaltending certainly by Yaroslav Halak for the home team in securing this 4-1 lead heading into the third.
But at one point it was 1-1 in the second period, but then the Blues got goals from Roy, Backes, and Payarvi. And Pat, they lead it 4-1.
Yes, indeed, John Kelly, they do lead it 4-1. Bernie Fedorko and I called for one of their best periods of the season coming in the second, and certainly that did happen. Coming up, an interview with Patrick Berglund, an eventful second period for him, including an assist. We'll have the second period highlights as Bernie joins me up here in the Bud Light Zone, and our dirt cheap shot of the game. But after 40 minutes of play here at Scott Trade Center, it's the Blues 4 and the Islanders 1. The Jack in the Box intermission report is coming up next on your home of the Blues, Fox Sports Midwest.
And we are ready for the third period with the Blues leading 4-1. John and Darren back in the broadcast booth. The Blues have taken advantage of the Islanders' 30th ranked PK tonight, Banger.
No doubt about that. The power play, an integral part of this hockey game. Funny hockey game. Not a lot of 5-on-5 flow to this. The power play's the difference.
And that leads us to tonight's BMO Harris Check replay of the night.
How important is this power play now?
I think it's the whole game, Bernie. We gotta get more people engaged and playing the right way.
Thanks, Hitch.
It was 1-1 at the time. And then this here. Shot, rebound, goal. Derek Roy makes it 2-1, his fourth on the power play this year. Shattenkirk's got 2 helpers on the power play. Bouwmeester's got a goal and 1 assist in this game as well.
And Bouwmeester now over 20 points. And the Blues have 5 players with 20 or more points joining Chicago, Ottawa, and San Jose. Underway in the third period. Teams are at full strength. Played ahead by the Islanders, but not out. Now DeHaan on the far side to Hickey. And down the boards in a race here, Cizikas gets there for Martin. And big Matt Martin trying to find it in the corner. Here's Bergman. He wiggles his way to center ice. And now played to the near side. Islanders get it, try to clear it, kept in Pietrangelo, a shot! And it got through, and a save by the rookie goaltender Nielsen. Well, don't forget the St. Louis Classic returns to Steinberg Rink at Forest Park on December 14th. The Blues won't be playing outdoors, but fans will be. 2 giant TV screens will show the Blues game from Columbus while fans skate and have a lot of fun. We'll broadcast our pregame, intermission, and postgame shows live from the rink. It's the St. Louis Classic, Saturday, December 14th.
It's one of the great outdoor rinks anywhere. Big fire pit out there. Wonderful place.
We might have a lot of snow, too, guys. It's snowing right now, so maybe we'll have some for, that's 10 days away.
And you'll be there with Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Oh, absolutely. Jamal Mayers will be having a very, very good time while you guys are entertaining us.
Jamal will join you as well. Nice. Former Blue. Now McDonald has it. He has scored the Islander goal from the point of shot. That trickles wide. Whoa. And then it's a hit in the corner. That was Clutterbuck, who has dished out a lot of hits in his career. Now it's wide open in front. Bouchard and Halak with a couple of saves on Pierre-Marc Bouchard, who was wide open behind the defense.
Boy, is Halak rolling. He is rolling right now. Very, very confident. And he's been great against the Islanders in his career, going 5-1-1 in a very minuscule goals against average of 1.41. He's improving on that in tonight's game.
Now the puck to center ice. Vanek. One-touch pass for Oposo. Works in. Pad save. Halak again, and another tricky shot.
Yep.
Oshie with it.
On top of his crease, though, on John. Not passive, not on the goal line. Good positioning.
Now 3-on-2. Steen fakes it. Here's Alexander Steen to the front. Can't pull the trigger. Now Steen back to Bouwmeester. To his partner. Pietrangelo drive. And that was off the target. Held in by Bouwmeester. Now Oshie back of the goal. Worked over by Tavares. And Tavares a good job. Knocked out of midair by Steen. To Bacchus! And it rolled on him. Now Oshie gets it in a pad save by Nielsen.
What a save with the right toe that was.
And now Tavares with it to center ice. That gets by Pietrangelo. What a shift by the Bacchus unit.
And going up against the top line of the Islanders. And boy, they hemmed Tavares' line in their own zone that entire shift.
Now to Hahn. He'll ring it around the boards. Tavares trying to get it by Polak. And then 5 players battle for it. Then the skates of Polak and Tavares. And Morrow doing his best to get it free.
Ooh, look at Roman Polak just giving it to Tavares there. Just jamming him down to the ice.
But Darren, that's what you get when the officials see the puck not going anywhere in skates, and they just let it go.
I do get confused by that myself. I think there's a time where it just causes more problems than what you need in the game. And just those are the ones, just blow that down. There's another good save here by Yaroslav Halak on Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Bouchard's a tricky player, and then Oposo cuts in. Good shot there, and Yaro gets that with the glove.
Now the Islanders to center ice. Josh Bailey. He'll chip one to the corner. Now get some help there from Nielsen, but his pass back picked off by Stewart. And Stewart in for the Blues. A little head fake move on Ness, and now Ness breaks it up. And Stewart will have to go all the way back in his own zone. And off the board, Stewart. Trying to play one to center ice. In some skates, now picked up by Polak. And the Blues go back. All year long, the Blues have allowed only 15 third-period goals. And only 2 goals in the third in the last 9 games. And those came in San Jose. Payarmian on the forecheck. Hamonic gets it ahead. Not out. Shattenkirk a drive. And that may have hit Payarmian went wide. And that was close. Hamonic tries the other side for New York. Up the middle, glove down by Shattenkirk. Off the boards for Lapierre. Now snared by Berglund. And he went left, and that put the play offside.
Well, that's one of the adjustments there for Max Lapierre moving over to the wing. It's not like he's not accustomed to playing on the wing. He has before, but a natural centerman being moved to the wing, maybe get a little bit more engaged, and as Ken Hitchcock says, start hunting again for Max. Get hunting. Get involved.
And that's all the center iceman's fault on that one. You're by the line. You got to get that puck inside the line before you make that move along laterally.
Push it ahead, gain the line.
Yep, gain the line, and then you can do whatever you want. As soon as you get that line, everybody can go wherever they want to go.
And Dave Otto, our hockey statistician up here tells us that that's the first offside against the Blues tonight.
That's interesting.
Now that's an amazing number into the third period.
Good discipline. Get the puck over the line and then everybody go.
Islanders win the faceoff. Faceoff's about dead even after 2. The Blues were ahead 51% after 40 minutes. Now Sobotka comes in with Tarasenko and Schwartz. And the Islanders break it up. Schwartz, by the way, does not have a point tonight. So his 7-game streak is on the line here. And now it's Hickey. He gains the red line, doesn't get it very deep though. Shattenkirk goes across, but Jackman didn't see it. Some miscommunication there.
Yeah, the D have talked about it. Talked about it for 2 days and supporting one another and having an outlet for one another. But there's Shattenkirk tries to just jam that.
And Oshie off the boards to himself, and it goes just wide. Backes tried that earlier in the game. And now Alexander Steen with it for Oshie. On the give and go, that was just broken up by the stick of McDonald. And then Colin McDonald plays it off the far side down the ice. Pollock goes awkwardly into the boards. And now gets up rather slowly. Puck off Backes to center. And Pollock trying to get off here.
Yeah, that was Steen. Steen blocked it. He couldn't find it, John. It was in his feet. He went one way. Puck went the other way. Otherwise, he might have been all alone.
And Oshie gets the puck near the line. Hickey with it. His drive got through and a save by Halak. And now Cizikas to Colin McDonald. Now Martin turns on Pietrangelo. Cizikas goes out high to Hickey. Quick shot and a save by Halak on the short side. On the line again to Hahn with it. Cizikas on the give and go, and that was read well by Oshie. Steen back to center ice with Pietrangelo. The late man is Roy off the bench. Right in a shot, and a save there by Nielsen. What a play, and Roy almost had a second tonight.
Tremendous patience there by Pietrangelo and waiting for the late man to gain the line, and Derek Roy did.
Now chopped wide by Stewart. Morrow. He'll brush one along to Stewart again. Stewart in the slot. Morrow was hit by Hamonic. And now they battle for it. Played around behind the goal. Here's Roy. Shovels it out high, but it goes by Shattenkirk. And the Blues have to hustle back as it doesn't go all the way down. Now Bouwmeester ahead. And then Lapierre finds Shattenkirk at center ice.
That's a good firm pass there by Lapierre. Right on the tape to Shattenkirk and an easy out.
7 minutes gone in the third period. Blues leading 4-1. Looking to snap their season-long 2-game losing streak. Islanders have lost 7 in a row, 2 in overtime. Now Shattenkirk with lots of time to Jackman. And then Berglund. He'll lob it into the corner. And Andrew McDonald up the boards to Nielsen. On for Josh Bailey, who hasn't scored in 17 games. Bailey, a tricky move, got to the front, but couldn't get a shot on goal. And now Hickey with it. And that pass read well by Ian Cole. He'll drop it off now to center ice. PRB takes a hit, gets it in deep. And it's Hickey back for New York. Andrew McDonald down the boards. Fired around by Regan. Halak plays it to Jaden Schwartz. Can't get it out, though. A shot from the angle by Clutterbuck and a save. Now they try to jam it in. Bouchard in front. That was blocked. And Schwartz at his own line is stood up by Clutterbuck. And Halak will deal one to Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. And he makes a save play up the board. Tarasenko now to Sobotka. He moves in and a shot and a save by Nielsen. As the Blues went hard to the net. Tarasenko now for Jackman. Sobotka was caught in the net area. He gets out of there.
Hamonic did a good job of taking him down there as Sobotka tried a little toe drag maneuver there and buying a little bit of time.
As Regan chipped one in behind the Blues defense, but now Jackman comes over. And Jackman off the boards and out. Drops this period 7-3 for the Islanders. But 23-21 for the game for the Blues.
JK, how about that fan in between periods that had number 17, blue sweater with gumption on the back? That's the best sweater of the night right here in the barn.
He came up to get a picture with you as you, of course, years ago nicknamed Sobotka the little guy with gumption.
You have to agree, huh, Bernie, that every single shift, never backs away from anything.
He's being loved by everybody, and every team wants to have a Sobotka on them because he's got it all, boys.
Now Martin gets it for New York. On for Ness, and he'll dump it in. Knocked in a minute by Halak as we approach the midway point of the third period. Blues with a 4-1 lead. 3 goals in the power play against the 30th ranked PK unit in the NHL. There's Hickey back of his own goal for Tavares. And the Islander captain gets to the line. Now to Hahn for a Poso. He walks in, a shot. Trying to go high glove side. And that hit the glass. Held in by Hickey. Goes back of the goal, picked up by Bomeister. And off the boards now to Morrow, and he sails one to the corner. Blues are making a change on the fly here. As DeHaan has some room up the middle. Flipped into the wing to Nielsen. Trying to catch up to it in the corner against Pietrangelo. And now it's off the glass. Nielsen again. And then Bomeister in the right spot. Didn't get it out. Now in front again. Vanek behind the defense. And a save by Halak on Vanek, who can't buy a goal tonight. And that's Vanek being wrapped up back of the goal. He has had at least 3 golden opportunities.
Time now for a Bommarito Automotive Group sports update in Pittsburgh. Tonight, the Penguins able to cool off the San Jose Sharks. Sidney Crosby playing in his 500th career game, assisting on 3 of the Pens' 5 goals in a 5-1 Pittsburgh win. Penguins doing it without the second leading scorer in the league tonight, Evgeny Malkin. Of course, Crosby leading the league, guys.
Pretty good player, I would say, Sidney Crosby.
I would say so. Coming into this game, Tavares was only 6 points shy of Sidney Crosby for the goal for the point lead in the NHL. And of course, Alexander Steen 1 point behind Tavares heading into this game. Tavares has 1 assist. So far, Steen has been shut out.
Now Parker has it for the Islanders. On to Grabner and then moved in by Bailey. Spins away from Lapierre and then played back to the goal. Shattenkirk up the boards to Lapierre and off the far side and out.
Good play there by Shattenkirk.
Oh, Lapierre ran into his own man, Payarvi. Here come the Islanders back in. Nielsen. And that shot was partially blocked by Shattenkirk. And then Jackson reverses to Shattenkirk. Now to center ice for Jaden Schwartz. He is bumped. Andrew McDonald gets it back. For Hamonic up the middle, now to Clutterbuck. Angles in. That shot hit the skates of Jackson. And then pushed along by Shattenkirk. Tipped to center ice. Tarasenko was in the area, but it's recovered by Bouchard.
Yeah, so Tarasenko overskated it, kind of got on the offensive side of it, but look who's there behind him on the defensive side of it. It's Sobotka. Covers it all up, and then they're able to escape any odd man break going the other way.
Now the Islanders, Clutterbuck back on the line. Hamonic, a shot tipped out of midair, I think, by Bouchard wide. And now Regan with it down low. Lauren Pollock in there. Schwartz throws it around the far side for Tarasenko. And his pass to center ice.
In the new rules with the no-tuck sweater rule, 4 guys on the Islanders just left the ice with their sweaters tucked in. Not that I could care less about that stuff.
Including defenseman Andrew McDonald, but I have not seen that called all year. And now the puck back of the goal. There's Backes.
I really think the spirit of that rule was that big back protector that we saw with Ovechkin.
Yep.
Right? Ugly. I think that was the spirit of the rule. Is,
yep.
You know, and the way the pants were kind of spliced open. They didn't look real good either. But as far as somebody having it tucked in, if you're Mark Bouchard, tucked that sweater in forever. Imagine if Gretzky was playing. I don't think you got the tuck rule.
I don't think you'd have that rule at all.
Bernie?
Yeah, I think it would have been maybe they waited till he was done.
Now TJ Oshie in for Roy. Roy a pass to the front. Oh, and Brendan Morrow buries it on a brilliant feed by Roy.
Holy jumping, what a feathery, buttery little backhand pass that was. Terrific play by Derek Roy on the backhand. No surprise, there's Brendan Morrow just driving hard to the paint. And the goaltender, Nilsson, I don't even believe he knew that was in the net. This pass here is a world class. Right on the tape. And Derek Roy beats Tavares. I'm sorry, not Roy. Brendan Morrow beats Tavares to it there. And then after he scores, Tavares gives him a little bit of a shove, maybe a little extra afterwards there. But good play there by Morrow going on a straight line.
His first goal in 7, 5th of the year. On a brilliant backhand feed by Roy, who picks up his second point tonight. And that makes it 5-1.
Let's go. His 5th of the season. Scored by number 10.
Now Ness into the zone. To Oposo. Lobbed in on goal. And Halak has it in the net. That's a pass that Bernie Federko would love there by Roy.
Well, Yaroslav Halak has been sharp. You wouldn't see it with a 5-1 lead, but at one point this has been a 1-1 game, and our Chamberlain save of the game right here on Frans Nielsen. A good 2-on-1 break in good position there by Halak. On top of his crease, battles this one off with the shoulder. He had many exceptional saves there in that opening frame. A lot of odd man breaks.
Took that one off the shoulder. In the second, took one right off the mask that cut his lip. Yep. And the Blues tipped the puck to center ice. Look at the score, and he has had a deceptively strong game for the Blues.
Got a break early on in that shorthanded break by Grabner. Rifle one off the pipe on a nice play, feeding steam to it. And that's the break that the Blues needed early on in the hockey game to lose 0-0 at that time.
And now Ness walks in for New York, and he throws Pietrangelo to the ice.
That's the old get around your player, have one hand on your stick and grab him with the shoulder with your left paw. So Pietrangelo will go off. Power play goes to work again. And the referee, Steve, is right there. Steve Kazari.
So Ness heads off.
I'm not really sharp on my game here. Well, between Jack Capuano and Doug Wade on the bench there, there's odds are not with them here.
A holding minor to Ness. And the Blues 3 for 4 on the night. Here comes Shattenkirk. Islanders jam the line, so all he can do is shovel it in. And the puck around the boards for Nielsen, and he turns and fires it down the ice.
Oh, Grabner had a breakaway. Grabner just rolled his eyes because if Nielsen looks up, Grabner was all by himself on this short inside wing here.
Now Schwartz has it in front, Pietrangelo, and he tried to go top corner over the blocker and missed. Alexander Steen for the Blues. Down the board, broken up by DeHaan, and the Islanders ice it. And 55 gone in the power play. 5:05 to go, third period. It's Sabotka. And that's knocked away. Good job by Clutterbuck. And it's Pietrangelo back for Sabotka. And the little guy with gumption into the zone. Throws one to the end wall. Now picked up by Tarasenko for Bouwmeester. And he lost it to Clutterbuck. Short-handed break here, but Bouwmeester got back to knock it away. And now the Blues try a long pass to center, intended for Sabotka. And then hoisted high and down the ice by Andrew McDonald.
Just rolled off the end of the blade. Sabotka taking that on the backhand. If the stick was a half a foot longer, it's an easy play there.
And a pass by Morrow hit his skate and goes back down the ice. Blues are home to the Ducks on Saturday, and that should be fun. We're on the air at 6:30 with the pregame show here on Fox Sports Midwest. As the Ducks and Blues meet for the first time. Now Ian Cole has it. From the blue line of drive, and a rough save by Nielsen. And he decides to hold it. Under 4 to play, the Blues cruising with a 4-goal lead.
Less than 4 minutes to go, and it's time now for our Timberland Pro. Hard hits of the night. A little reverse hit right there by Morrow on DeHaan. Big hit right there, Stewart on Ness. That results in an instigator to Kartner after that one, and Kartner was lost for 2, 5, and 10. Not an overly physical game, but still some big ones out there.
Under 4 to play here in the third period. Islanders win a face-off. And Kyle Okposo trying to go down the wall on Bouwmeester, but Big Bo gets the back end into him and breaks it up. And now Bouwmeester through center ice for Oshie. And he makes the safe play. Thrown back to the goal. Steen was in the area, but Nielsen gets it by him. And the Islanders played off the glass to center ice. Knocked back in by Bouwmeester.
New York Islanders will get veteran goaltender Evgeny Nabokov back real soon. Practiced hard today. A little groin injury that he's got, and good chance that he maybe plays against his former team, the New York Islanders, on this. I mean, the San Jose Sharks on this trip.
We knew what you meant.
What team's he playing for? Oh.
And now the Blues move in. Here's Roy. And chased to the boards by Hammond. And then Bouchard. Oh, a hit in the corner. Stewart in front of Roy. Off his skate. Who was that, Stewart, Darren?
That was on Regan. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Regan, I'm sorry. That was
what a
Bouchard. And
that was quite a hit. And there's going to be a minor penalty coming up here.
It's against the Islanders. And now Jackman to center ice. Stewart tips it on to Roy. Shattenkirk gets into the zone. And he breaks his stick on the shot. And now the Islanders touch it.
Kartner goes right over there to Morrow. Stewart's on the outside of it right now. Just a big hit. I mean, Brendan Morrow's been a real good player in this hockey game. Just sets the tone early on. His line started the game. That's just a big hit. Good hit right there on Peter Regan. Regan got right up right away. Took it, though. You see the way his head snapped back against the glass, but it was a good, clean hit.
And then McDonald takes a roughing minor. And the Blues go back on the power play for the 5th time. Three for 5 on the night. As the Blues are about to break their 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, and the words of wisdom came from the head coach, Ken Hitchcock, when it was a 1-1 game. A prognosticator of sorts.
He says the game's on the line right here. If Blues going on the power play, they got a goal and haven't looked back since. Now it is Sobotka. Schwartz across to Bouwmeester. And the Blues get set up. Oh, Schwartz had it back door. Couldn't pull the trigger. And now Sobotka back for Bouwmeester. And then Pietrangelo a shot. That's blocked in front by Ness. And then Schwartz again. Pietrangelo fakes it. Bouwmeester fires it. Hit a skate goes to Schwartz. And then for Tarasenko. Islander player Grabner has lost his stick. It's in the corner. He doesn't go off and get a new one. Now Bouwmeester for Tarasenko. Watched by Grabner. Sobotka to Tarasenko. There's Grabner. Can't do much with the stick, though. Now Tarasenko in. Side of the goal. Sobotka. Can't get to the front. Bouwmeester again to Sobotka. Who's not shooting the puck here now for Pietrangelo. With 1:15 to go in the third period. And Nielsen will chop it, but not by Bouwmeester. Missouri Lottery Blues Live coming up next.
Sobotka a little frustrated now going off the ice. Got his head down there. He had a couple of chances. Kind of double clutched and hesitated on a few situations, but it's a 5-1. It's a 5-1 lead, and it's going to be a victory.
And now Berglund, he gets in there for Morrow. Forces one back of the goal. Stewart on the attack. Hamonic puts it up the boards. And a giveaway by the Islanders. And Steen has it for Shattenkirk. And a shot. Look out, that hit Berglund up high, maybe on the arm. And he's in pain. Morrow in front. And that is blocked. Islanders come back. McDonald's out of the box. In front. Tipped high by Clutterbuck. And that's off the glass. In the final 15 seconds here at Scottrade. As Morrow has it deep in his own zone. Pollock. Up the wing to Shattenkirk. And that will do it. Blues will win it 5-1 the final at Scottrade.
Well, Bergie blocked that shot late. He had that fall in the second period, but the Blues behind Yaroslav Halak, solid play, especially early on in this game, cruised to a 5-1 victory. The power play really the difference. Roy gets his 4th on the power play. Backus gets his 6th on the power play. Bouwmeester also scores with the man advantage.
And that was the score the last time these clubs met. Back in February of 2012, a 5-1 Blues win at Scottrade. And they salute the crowd on this chilly night here at Scottrade.
Time now for a Bud Light player of the game, and it is going to be Derek Roy. Playing almost 13 minutes, had that goal and assist. The goal ends up being the game-winning goal. As I mentioned, it's 7th of the year and 4th on the power play. That came at 7:02 of the second period. Made it 2-1 and the game winner.
Yeah, the story of the Blues power play, scoring 3 goals tonight. Let's go downstairs for the 3 stars.
It's time to meet tonight's Bud Light 3 stars of the game. The game's 3rd star, recording 1 goal and adding an assist, playing on defense for the Blues, number 19, Jay Bouwmeester. The game's 2nd star, with 1 goal and 1 assist in the game, playing at a forward for the Blues, number 12, Derek Roy. And the game's 1st star, stopping 22 of 23 New York shots, playing in goal for the Blues, number 41, Yaroslav Halak.
First of all, Yara, congratulations. You know, after losing the last 2 games, was this a must-win coming in here tonight?
Well, you know, we knew, you know, they were not winning lately, and they were going to come hard. So I think we did a good job, especially in the first. You know, scoring the first goal of the game, that was huge for us, and our power play came through for us. It's amazing.
You know, Yarrow, a lot of talk has been, there's been a struggle with the early part of the game, the first period. How much extra pressure do you put on yourself when you know maybe the guys aren't really going as hard as they have been usually in the first period?
You know, I think everything goes through something like this over the course of the season. It's a long season, and you can't win all the games. I mean, we had bad starts in LA, in San Jose, but like I said tonight, I think we did a good job. We came hard, we skated, and you know, we did all the little things to win a game.
Now, a lot of people think you're crazy to be a goaltender. You took a shot in the mouth. What happened on that play? And your lip looks like a little sore. Does that happen very often where the mask comes back into the mouth?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I got a puck into my cage, and all of a sudden, I felt the blood in my mouth, and but I'm good. I was able to stay in a game, and it's nothing bad.
You're 6-1 now. Your goals against the Islanders in your career is like below 1.5. Why do you have so much confidence against the New York Islanders?
I don't know. I don't even look at the stats like this, so I mean, it's good to know, but it was another game and for us, and I think like I said, we needed to get 2 points tonight. Coming back home from a road trip is not always easy, but like I said, I think we did a great job tonight.
Thanks, Yara. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The 1st star, Jaro Halak, 22 saves tonight.